To you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Brenda? How are you? Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to the show. On today's show, I want to talk about a local Black family. Their home was devalued. They were in the process of selling their home. And what they were finding is that it was by appraisers, it just kept getting devalued. So they got creative and did something interesting. And once they did, they got what they thought was a proper and a fair value for their home. I'm actually scheduled to get a phone call from them this morning. So let's see if that comes through today and get ready for that conversation. Also, a Karen gets checked by her man. We need to see more of this. You know, if more men who are in relationships with Karens would step up and do what this gentleman did in the video I'm going to show you later this morning, then maybe we could put an end to the Karen pandemic. Maybe, maybe not. And the crate challenge remains undefeated. See that brave soul right there? I believe that is an image, really was a video. It's a still shot of a video from Detroit. And this is the new pastime all over the country. And I'm here for it. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, where nothing is funnier than the truth. Men are allowed. In fact, they are expected to be men. Don't come in here with that little boy-ish. You can leave that at the door, all right? Take your shoes off before you enter the dojo. And, of course, Suck MCs get dealt with. Please take a second to like and, in particular, share today's show when you share the show. I mean, quite frankly, family, more people see it. And we'll get started in about 90 seconds.
I ran away from heartbreak. Got nothing in return for my pain. I never thought I'd be so empty, so alone and afraid. Wasn't looking for a lover. Nobody understood where I've been. I guess I thought I needed more time to protect my love from potential offense. So I then you and you, but I so you and I'm not surprised by what I found, 'cause I know I needed something different, and it had to be you. Out the blue, somebody who would listen, and it had to be you. Out of all the people to reply, my love couldn't be just anyone. My baby, it had to be you. I didn't seem to notice that you were checking for me. We were just friends. But we started building trust and my fragile heart started to bend. Yeah. I should have paid attention. You would have been the obvious choice. But I needed time to see clearly, dig deep and cut through the noise. So I, then you gave up and you, but I, so you and I'm not surprised by what I found, 'cause I know I needed something different and it had to be you. Out the blue, somebody who would listen and it had to be you. Out of all the people to revive my love, couldn't be just anyone. My baby, it had to be you, you.
Good morning. Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the show. We made it. Another beautiful day in the sun. Let me give you a heads up. I know many of you enjoy the Is It Just Me podcast on Fridays. Donnie will not be streaming live today. She got some other ish going on, and she'll be back shortly. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Yes. Good to be with you. Like on today's show, numerous things to discuss. I'm scheduling a phone call from a black family. You can see the family right there in the middle, that middle box on the screen there. That's a Greater Cincinnati area family, and they made national news. Actually, I saw the article in the Grio. I saw an article about their situation in the Grio as well. It's quite interesting because in the process of trying to sell their home, the home kept getting devalued. The appraisal kept coming up short. The offers weren't what they thought they should be. So they did something creative. And then they ended up getting the price they were looking for. And I thought, this is interesting. So we're scheduled to speak with them at about 8:30 a.m. this morning. So coming up in about 40 minutes. I'll try to touch base with them on the show just to confirm. I'll let you know. A man goes off on his wife after she kept harassing a black couple. And we need to see more of this. Only Darrens can stop Karens. If more Darrens and Collins stood up and said, look, Karen, leave these poor black folks alone. Maybe some of this stuff will stop. I don't know. And the crate challenge remains undefeated. It is my new internet guilty pleasure. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. But fall a little bit, I think I'm okay with that. Good morning to you. Update ready to install. I don't want no damn updates, man. Every time I do an update on my phone, the phone stops acting right. I ain't doing it. Good morning to you. Like the phone got COVID. Man, these mask mandates are taking over the world. We already knew this. Public schools, universities, businesses, sports, sporting events, sport leagues. It's all everything. Mandate. So it mandates more conversation about how you feel about the damn mandate. Good morning to you. All of that, and as we're tiptoeing into September, October, November, man, we just got 2 months away. We got 2 months away from the local elections. What are we going to do? Now, the good people at the NAACP, they host the Truth to Power podcast, of course, produced by Sin Digital Media, because we are of the people, by and for the people. Media by and for the people. They spent some time talking about it. They're gearing up for their My Vote Matters series of, speaking with them yesterday, it's going to be a hybrid. So all of them are going to be streamed. Some of them are going to be virtual, and some of them are going to be actually the live element component. From what I was told yesterday, the Cincinnati School Board forum is going to be a live forum. And as of right now, I tentatively am going to be your moderator for the school board. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gearing up, sharpening my knives. Eyes be ready, y'all. Eyes be ready. Don't worry. I'll be ready. But you got to worry about so many things, or you have so many opportunities, not worry about. These are opportunities. So right in front of you, are you ready to vote for the next mayor of Cincinnati? This is an opportunity to decide what direction we want to go in. And there is a clear distinction between the two. Avtab Puraval and David Mann. There's a clear distinction. The people will have to decide for themselves. We's going to have to decide. Who should be the next municipal court judge? Will it be Elizabeth Ty, Dante Johnson, or Bertha Garcia Helmick? Justice is in your hands. Again, all of this was put together by the NAACP. I'm just kind of borrowing it and promoting their podcast. You should check it out and make sure you get ready for their live streams and their virtual forums. Always a good time. Always very, very important. Always very, very informative. There it is, school board. You got to select 4 of them. And I don't know. I mean, of all the people out there that I don't know. So this is going to be a very interesting race, right? Because as I believe, and I could be wrong about this, 4 of these individuals have received the Democrat endorsement. I don't know if Gary Favors has received any endorsements or not. Let me go to his Facebook page. See what's up with Gary Favors. I thought we was friends. We were friends. He must have unfriended me. We were friends at some point, but he wasn't be friends now. That's fine. I'm looking on his page. Is Gary Favors really running? Because I don't really see him out there. And I don't really see anything online or anything. Gary Favors for school board. Like, some of these people running for these offices are absolutely invisible. I don't see no visibility whatsoever from some of these people running for some of these offices. And it's why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact that Facebook can be a very, very powerful medium. I know that for a fact. Facebook can be a very, very powerful medium. It should be a part of whatever you're doing as a candidate. I get it. But there's a lot of creative ways to use Facebook. And I just don't see that creativity with some of these candidates. Some of these candidates are just also rans. I just don't see them. I don't see it at all. I don't see no social media. I don't see a damn thing. I don't see no websites. You know, it's funny. But what got me thinking about this is I was watching the NAACP's forum podcast yesterday, Truth to Power podcast, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. If you miss any of them, just go to their Facebook page and you can watch them all. And then they're also on CDM's Facebook page as well. Which, if you go to our CDM Facebook page, it's gonna look a little bit different. I changed the configuration of it to support what we do primarily, which is videos. So you're going to see a little bit of a different layout there, which I think is more user-friendly for people that are into videos, because that's primarily what's on that page. So check it out. Tell me what you think. Yeah, you know, some of these people don't have websites. Some of these people, it's like, you know, the NAACP was complaining about trying to get in contact or being able to get in contact with people. It's like, are you really running, yo? Hey, what's up, Kelly Prather? Good to see you. Good to see you, sis. It's been a minute. So are you really running, or what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are you doing here? But back to this school board race, where is it at? That's going to be very interesting because Pam Bowers did not receive the Democrat endorsement, but Kareem Moffitt, Brandon Craig, Mike Morosky, and Mary Weinberg all did. Is Pam Bowers going to have enough of a war chest and enough name recognition as a one-time candidate to supersede or to withstand the influence of the Democrat endorsement? We shall find out. We shall find out. Plus, there's a lot of people who looking at Pam sideways for how she handled herself, both in the media and in general as a school board member during COVID. So that's going to be real interesting. Then I see Gary Favors here, but I don't see Gary Favors at all. Anybody know Gary Favors? Y'all need to wake his ass up, because by the time he wakes up, it'll be over. Now, he might be running ads on terrestrial radio. I don't know. I haven't plugged in lately, so I don't know. And if I'm wrong in that, please set me straight. But I don't hear him. And Gary Favors was a very interesting guy. We had a very interesting conversation when he was running for school board last time. Was it 2 years ago? Very interesting conversation. So, and we need black men on the school board. We don't have no black men on the school board. Now, I don't think you should make a decision primarily just upon race and gender. You want the best qualified candidate, but, you know, is that too much to ask to get one brother on the damn school board? And I take it that Ozzy decided, nah, I'm done with this. First, I thought he was going to. Speaking of which, later on today, matter of fact, let me check this out. And I'm planning on, unless something happens, I'm probably going to slide through myself. But later on today, they're doing something called Black Political 101. You hip to this? It's going to be from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. over at Bar 29 on Reading Road, 4040 Reading Road. And Ozzy Davis and Cedric Denson, I've been told, are putting this together. And I guess they bring in black folks and politics together, have conversations. I don't know. But I'm probably going to slide through. Check that out today. Good morning to you. Yeah. You ain't hear about that? Now you know. That's today from 5 to 9 p.m. at Bar 29. 4040 Reading Road. Check it out for yourself. Good morning to you. Oh, I see you, Glenn. It's my birthday and I'm feeling good. All right, happy birthday to you, bro. Got that smooth baby face. Got the whole thing going. Okay, I see you. Glenn. What up with you, man? Okay, happy birthday. It's about that time, huh? Yeah, it's about that time. Okay. I say Lincoln Ware and his queen. 43 years. That's a long ass time to be married, man. That's a long ass time to be married. Not everybody gets to shit. Most people don't even get to 7, but to 43. That is that's something right there. That is something right there. Good morning to you. Yeah, you heard about what is it? Steph Curry's mama, Sonia Curry. Yeah, apparently in the documents, She's accusing her husband of cheating. He's accusing her of cheating. Apparently, he's accusing her of hooking up with some ex-football player named Dwayne Johnson, who I vaguely remember from back in the day. Yeah, I saw the whole video and everything. She was in the stadium. It wasn't a good look, man. It wasn't a good look at all, but that's life. That's life, man. You are not promised a damn thing in this world. You ain't promised to get married and be married to one woman or one man for the rest of your life. That shit is rare. That shit is as rare as it is for a person to work for one employer their whole life and then retire. Nah, that shit rare. That shit rare. Good morning to you. What is this? We should be doing remote learning. Is that right? I ain't mad at you. I'll be honest with you. Some people are saying we should have remained in remote learning, and I think that would have been a smarter thing to do, quite honestly. Because sometimes you just want to err on the side of caution. You know what I'm saying? Just take every precaution, but I know how it is. Everybody believes that the only place for kids to be is in the school, and that's the best place. People are completely brainwashed to it. I get it. You got a lot of parents that got to work out there, so they're pushing to go back to school. Okay. All right, all right, all right. I hear you. I hear you. We shall see. What's this? Oh, okay. Is that right? I see you. I see you, brother. Do your thing, man. I'm on Facebook scrolling a little bit. It's a beautiful Thursday. Let me jump inside the chop shop. Say good morning. Brenda writes, happy Thursday. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Sharp. Ray writes, good risings all. Ray writes, happy Earth Day to Glenn. I'm wondering, Glenn, there's somebody out there who's got a very special birthday present for you. I'm sure he's waiting to give it to you. Come on down, man. Whatever you want to do, that special birthday song you was telling me about, you can get it in, man. He wants to sing happy birthday to you in his own special Black Republican type of way. Looking forward to that. Joe writes, Grand Rises, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Andrielle writes, good morning, Nate and friends. Pat writes, good morning. Carmelita, Bad Girl Jones. Carmelita's she was a bad girl. She was wild back in the day, fighting teachers. Carmelita, fighting teachers Jones. She writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Carmelita. So you should never told me that. Let me see. Fame writes, good morning, folks. Despite the fact that y'all don't deserve us, the alt middle is going to post up for a while. Enjoy yourselves. Oh, well, thank you. Kush writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers with a Z. Good morning to you. The Politically Petty Podcast Show writes, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Flows ready to eat for everybody. On my birthday, 8/26. I love me some Virgos. It's Virgo season. You already know. Tabitha writes, good morning, all. Let's chop it up. Jenny writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Brenda writes, good morning. Nat writes, good Thursday, Choppers. Glenn writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Hashtag birthday feeling 54, Virgo season, GW. Okay, 54, huh? All right, brother. Do your thing, man. Daryl writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Deborah writes, good morning. Now, on today's show, I've got to end the show right at 9:30. I've got a phone call that I have to be on at 9:30 promptly. So I've got to end the show right at 9:30, maybe 9:29, just to give you a heads up. Pat writes, happy birthday, Glenn. Gladys writes, good morning, Nate. Good morning, Gladys. What a beautiful Thursday. It is a beautiful Thursday. Haven't popped my head outside. I've been doing everything inside to this point. But yeah, it's feeling good. It's feeling like one of them great days. One of those great days. Brandy writes, greetings. Good to see you. What's up, Brenda? Good to see you, Brenda. Good. May writes, good morning. Good morning. Joe writes, say a lot of people saying happy birthday to Glenn. Jared writes, good morning, hashtag team and I. Regina writes, good morning, kings and queens. Good morning. Marisha writes, good morning. Kelly writes, good morning. Kelly writes, Gary Favors is Republican and he will pop up at community events. Really? I'm on his Facebook page. I don't see nothing. Gary Favors for school board. I click on it, and I don't see a damn thing. I go to his personal page. We used to be friends on Facebook. Guess he said, you know what? Screw this guy. I'll make some more room for my real friends. Gary Favors. Here he is. Gary Favors. Well, I will say one thing about Gary, man. He got a mean beard game, though. If that beard game tells us anything about his efficacy as a potential school board member, shit, he should be on the school board like ASAP. We need beard game matters on the school board. Those are the things that are important. Screw your credentials. Is your beard game straight? That's what really matters. Yeah, I'm on here. I don't see a damn thing about it at all. But the Cincinnati NAACP thinks that he's running. I guess he must be on the ballot. I haven't double checked. I'm not sure, but APB for Gary Favors. Anybody seen Gary? Where you at, Gary? And I plan to reach out to everybody. Good morning to you. Good morning. Plus, we'll catch up during the NAACP. You know I'm going to get all into it, too. You already know. He says, appreciate that, Nate. Appreciate what, bro? Some help, well wishes for a fellow Virgo? Shit, that's easy, bro. That's nothing. Charles Holmes writes, good morning. Jason Doherty writes, Nate, what's up, Jason? He writes, good morning. Marisha writes, some happy birthday. Eloise is in the house. Good morning, Eloise. Kelly writes, happy birthday to Glenn. Brandy writes, good morning, happy Thursday. Nikki writes, good morning, everyone. Everybody looking so good. Yeah. Dale writes, Dale accuses his ex-wife of cheating with Steven Johnson. If this is the guy, man, come on, Sonia. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, 40-some years of marriage is a long-ass time to be married to just one person. That's a long time to be faithful. I'm going to be honest with you. 40-some years? That shit is a long-ass time. And somebody posted a screenshot of somebody trying to go into her DMs on Instagram. And you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The game is what the game is. We'll see what happens. That's her business. I don't know. I have no idea. It's sad though. You know, when I see that kind of things, I feel a little sad. But on the other hand, I'm like 43 years. Maybe they need to spend the rest of their lives apart. Do something different. They've been together since they was in high school. That's a long ass fucking time. All that time they had 3-4 kids, 2 of them in the NBA. Shit, what more can you want? You know, every relationship don't have to end with till death do us part for it to be good. Now it's unfortunate that now that the knives are coming out, but let's say they did it amicably, like, hey, you know, we still got love for one another, but we just not in love. We don't want to be together like that anymore. He do what he do, she do what she do. They both still happy. They both stay cool. What's wrong with that? I don't know. Nikki writes, good morning, everyone. I think I said that. Good morning, everybody. Lisa writes, they're not famous, LOL, but my parents celebrate 43 years in November. 43 years? Damn. That is a long... Anybody in a marriage over 10 years got a story to tell. If you've been married to the same person for a decade, then you got a story to tell. If you hit year 20, then you got a story to tell. When you get past 20 years, man, ain't no telling the shit that people do to keep their relationships together. Ain't no telling. There's no guarantee. Anything goes. It's fielder's choice out there, you know, whatever you got to do. But, you know, for people that stay in long-term relationships, you know, hey, great for them. And I'm a big believer in staying as long as it's good. You know, I'm a big believer in that. Do I believe in vows and all that kind of shit? I believe in all of that, yeah. But God don't want me to be unhappy. He don't want me to be long time suffering. He don't want that shit. I don't think. just so I can live up to some so-called vows. I don't believe that shit. And a lot of people don't believe that either. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Life is too short. Shit, until I get an email from God saying otherwise, I got one shot here. I got one shot. I want to live it the best way I can. I'm sure you feel the same way. So it is what it is. Remember that website called OnlyFans? I am hip to OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans account. I never subscribed to any OnlyFans account, but I know what they do. Ask Ashley talked to a sister, man, a local sister who was making buku dollars selling. I mean, I guess she was selling hers, but she wasn't selling that. She was like selling pictures of herself and things like that. And then you can subscribe to it. It's kind of like Patreon. Well, OnlyFans early and late last week said, you know what, we done with certain kind of sexually oriented materials. And then I started reading that Tyga, who's a hip hop artist, he created his own OnlyFans type. It was called My Star with two Y's. My Star, maybe two Y's and two S's, but two Y's definitely. And then just yesterday, I read the OnlyFans has reversed their decision. And I thought to myself, I bet they did. Because people will come along and clone what you've already did, slap a brand new name and brand on it, and rake in them dollars. Man, OnlyFans was making millions of dollars. I'm talking about tens of millions of dollars a month off of that service. Why would you stop doing that? Now, you want to clean it up. You don't want somebody using it for child pornography or anything that's going to hurt somebody or anything like that, anything too crazy, right? Or illegal. But if it's just women that want to pick up a second job selling photographs of themselves, and you know what I'm saying, they got that body like that men will pay for to see pictures, and then once a week or so you do a live stream in your bathrobe and some areola just innocently falls out, everybody's happy. I ain't got no problem with that. I don't have no problem. Just like I don't have a problem with strippers. You want to strip for a living, baby girl, get it in. Make your money. You make it clap, and then the dollar bills and the fives and the tens and 20 start rolling on the stage. Do what you got to do. You ain't hurt nobody, and it's legal. So I'm not surprised to see the OnlyFans came to their senses, because they was about to lose a buku dollars. Yeah, there's always gonna be a how do I put this? It's always gonna be a market for those kind of things, whether it be men or women. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be, I ain't tiptoeing, Nikki. I want to make sure I use the words that accurately convey how I actually feel. It's always going to be a market for that. Always, 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 always. Like, pornography has never been more prolific than it is right now. Like, it used to be that if you wanted to see videos and stuff like that, you had to like go to the store and do this whole process, and then re-up every 3 days. And man, now you just go to these websites. Anything you ever want to see is free. Which I wonder what's the impact on the culture. Anthony writes, is some people out there that have mostly likely blown their whole bank account on that foolishness. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it has. But that's the game. That's the game. Kathy writes, good morning, all. Good morning to you, Kathy. That is the game. That's the game. Oh, okay. Yeah, Trig, for sure. Okay, you the second person to tell me about Morgan Harper. You're the second person to tell me about that. So apparently she's running for something. She's running for something. I'm not sure what she's running for. She's running for something, but that's the second person to reach out to me. So for sure, yeah, we can make that happen. I'm reading something on Facebook. Cass writes, sex sells. They're going to pay the money to somebody no matter what. Absolutely. What's up, Gregory B. Williams? What's up, man? Good to see you. Brother OJ writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Let's be great today. I got to catch up with you, brother. I got to update with you or for you on that idea we're talking about, for sure. I received an update. Daryl writes, I bet the children are feeling some ways always happen. What children? What children? We talking about? What children? Talking about women who make money off of OnlyFans? Like I said, Ashley, man, going back early in the year, she talked to a sister, man. She said, I can't remember how much she was making, but when she said it, I was like, damn, you making that much money? Selling pictures of her feet, You got feet freaks out there selling pictures of her hands. You got men out there or women or people that like to look at women's hands and all this kind of stuff. And again, I ain't hating on you. Whatever you into, that's what you into. You know what I'm saying? Do you? Cedric Dents is in the house. Good morning to you. Hey, Cedric, I was just talking about the event that you and Ozzy are putting together tomorrow. I'll take that back. It's today from 5 p.m. to 9. I'm sorry, from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. If I can act like I know what I'm talking about here for a second. Black Political 101. Yeah, Black Political 101. Here, check this out. You probably seen it already, but you can check it out on my phone. There it is. Yeah, that's today. So go in there and talk politics with some people that are qualified. Hold on, let me put some light back in here. Go in there and talk politics with some people that, that's much better. Look at all that light. Go in there and talk politics with some people that know what they're talking about. That's today at Bar 29. Check it out. Dale writes, Nate, I'm talking about the Curry children. Oh, the Curry children. Oh, okay. Well, they grown. I'm sure every child wants their mother and father to stay together. But at this point, they got kids of themselves. They understand what marriage is. They just probably want their parents to be happy. You know what I'm saying? But kids always want their parents to stay together. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all you know. But I mean, as long as your parents is happy, if it wasn't good, I think, the kids would be happy for them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think anyway. You done put it on the man already, LOL. They both accuse each other, but she's swirling, shaking my head. Well, I mean, swirling is that new thing right now. You know what I'm saying? We way beyond even talking about swirling. People that made their decisions. Some black women that made their decision. It is what it is. You go on TikTok on some of these dance videos, you're going to see all these interracial relationships. Primarily it's white dude, black female. Okay. So the culture worked. You know what I'm saying? The sum total of all those books and all those television articles and movies, and then the plot to destabilize the black family by undercutting the economic viability of the black man is having an impact as well. You know, black people were targeted, but black men in particular were targeted. So then you had all these sisters out here that's educated, making their money. You know what I'm saying? They got fallopian tubes and all this kind of stuff. I got needs. It is what it is. I wants to be happy. It is what it is. Cedric writes, yes, come out, hang with us if you can. All are welcome, 4040 Reading Road, 5 to 9 p.m. Jerica's in the house. She writes, hola, beautiful black people, and the others too. Brian writes, good morning. Your boy...
I built the whole plan. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, your boy will be here in September. I'm thinking real seriously about paying the $45 so I can get an interview with him. Because that way I don't have to pay $250 for an interview on the show. So 45 as opposed to 250, that's easy. Thinking real serious about that, real serious. But it should be an interesting event. So, that's right. Dr. Umar Johnson coming to Cincinnati. Ashley writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Happy birthday to Glenn. Good to see you. To my people on TuneIn this morning, who I never hear from because I'm never on the TuneIn app and reading chat and comments over there. Okay, but I know you're there because I see the numbers. Good morning to you, and thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Like I said, man, the vast majority of people are silent. They just listen. They listen. They primarily listen afterward, as the day goes through, and they never call in, never text in or anything else, but I know you're there. Good morning to you. TC writes, good morning, everyone. Hey, good to see you. TC, good to see you. Absolutely. And Brian says, morning. Good morning to you. If he ain't taking questions, 45 bones ain't worth it either, Nate. I'm sure he's taking questions. I'm sure he'll take questions from people that's got like flattering things to say, and people that have already contributed to his capital fund, which I'm not above to. Like, I always wanted to contribute, but I waited so long that now I've seen all these videos that make me think otherwise. I'll be honest with you. At least I'm honest. One thing you're going to get on this show is you're going to get a whole lot of honesty. Now, can you handle it? I don't know. What's going on out there in Winton Woods, man? Yesterday afternoon, I was getting several messages from people that was saying that the busing, that you had parents that was waiting with lawn chairs in the streets and kids was lost and not showing up. Anybody hip to what was going on in Winton Woods in the busing situation with the schools? I was just getting DMs from folks like, hey, it's probably going to be on the news. I didn't watch the local news here. You got parents sitting out here in lawn chairs waiting for their kids. The kids are not where they're supposed to be. I was told that one woman basically stepped into the middle of the street and stopped the bus looking for her grandbaby. Is this all true? It came from a very credible source, but does this sound consistent to what you know? Is this consistent to your understanding of what's been going on? Anybody in Winton Woods? You live out there? Oh, let me check this right now. This is crazy. This is crazy. Anybody hear that? Queen Maxine writes, all black people are targeted because the agenda, period. This is not of mommy likes you better. TC writes, I don't recall seeing that on the news, but that is awful. Yeah, I mean, I got a message yesterday from somebody, credible source, saying, hey, this is happening out in Winton Woods. Check the news. There's a lot of issues around the busing situation. I didn't check the news. Let me type it in right now. See what's going on. See what I can find. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see a damn thing. So I don't know. I mean, it might have been something that happened, but it just didn't hit like the local news radar screen. That probably could have been it. That could have definitely been it. I don't know. You tell me. So if anybody got any inside track on that, then please let me know. I'm interested in it. Here's my number, 513-873-7134, if you'd like to share your thoughts this morning. Sonya and Dale Curry accuse each other of cheating. See, some of that is just, Sonya Curry, she's what, in her mid-50s? 55 is like the new 45. 55 ain't what it was when I was younger. It's a little bit different now. Like, I'll give it to her for 55. She ain't looking bad. But see, some black women, the older they get, the better looking they get. It's a mixture of just the way that black women age. And the older a woman gets, the more comfortable she gets with herself, the more confident she gets. And there's nothing sexier than confidence, right? So that's what it is. You ever seen a woman in her like 40s, 50s, maybe even 60s, and you like, what? That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, black don't crack unless you're taking crack, and then the crack will crack the black completely. I think that makes sense. Yes, that does make sense. Good morning to you. What is this? Huh? What the hell? What is that? I don't know what the hell that is. Let me go on. I don't know what I'm looking at. So how much Dr. Dyson and Dr. West charge? I don't know. Rachel writes, good morning, family. It's Friday Eve. It is Friday Eve. Friday Eve. Scripted questions, boo. I'm paying $45. He need to take some heat for $45, huh? Kamiki writes, one lady made a post about her child being missing because the bus was so late. Curtis writes, I like Umar, but I haven't donated to his school. I have donated to Tariq Nasheed's museum. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed got a whole museum that he's working on, like the real Black History Museum. So, props to him, man. I love that series of docs that he does, though. Nikki writes, age like fine wine. Yes, they do. Some of these black women, the older they get, them grays be popping. You be looking at them like, damn. Don't let her be a woman in her 40s, 50s, 60s, and she working out, got the body on fleek, on whatever they call it these days. I don't know if that's the right word to use. Listen, I didn't know Sonya was half Haitians. She has real strong genes. Is that right? Queen Maxine writes, today is the day of Thor. Dale writes, laughing my butt off. The crack will crack the black. Yes, it will. The crack will. It's the only thing will crack the black. The crack of the masses whip couldn't crack the black, but crack can crack the black all day long. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but it's true. Very unfortunate. Oh man, good morning to you. Again, if you want to share your thoughts this morning, I'll throw it out to you. My number 513-873-7134. And shout out to all the Virgos. It's Virgo season. You know what I'm saying? We running things. We running things right now. Step to the side, all you other astrological signs. It's Virgo season. That's the only thing that matters. And Virgo season is everything. It is what it is. It is what it is. Good morning to you. Let me go back to your chat here. TNT writes, we are from the place in Africa near the fountain of youth, right across the street from the Black Don't Crack. Very, very close to Wakanda. You should visit. Is that right? Everybody knows Wakanda is under Jamaica. We know that now. That's why the Jamaican Wakandans are so damn fast. That's why they're so tight. Charles writes, Steph will have the same problems his parents are having. Aisha has already complained about not receiving enough attention from her man. Why does she need that? Because she probably got some insecurities. And because Steph Curry is probably very, very busy. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Steph better watch out. She'll be creeping with somebody else. Charles writes, Virgo season is the best season every day, all day. Charles, everybody knows that. Absolutely. Every day, all day. Everybody knows that. Hold on, let me double check on something. I got to check on my guests just to make sure that we are Gucci this morning. Oh, man, that's not what I typed in. When you type something in and then it want to give you some whole other different ish. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you got to double checking in with them just to make sure that we Gucci. And I was wrong. I said 8:30, but we actually set it up for 9 a.m. as I double check and look at my messages here. So that gives about 30 minutes. And then again at 9:29, I got to cut the show abruptly because I got a very important phone call I got to take at 9:30. And then I'm off with the races on with the rest of the day. Good morning to you. Let me see. So how we want to do this actually? How we want to do this? Okay, so let me throw the cover back up on the screen here, and we'll use that to bounce into our conversation this morning. Where we want to start at, family? Where do we want to start? So that middle box, that is the Parker family. So we're scheduled to talk with them. I'm in the process of confirming with them. I'll let you know here as soon as I get a message back to talk about their story of selling their home, black while selling a home. On the left there, a man goes off on his wife after she kept harassing a black couple. So why don't you just mind your own damn business and leave people the hell alone? Why? When did that stop being a thing? When did that stop being a thing? I picked my daughter up yesterday, and my daughter attends Walnut Hills High School. Everybody know that at this point. If you don't know, I just told you. So I pick her up from school yesterday. She does a lot of extracurricular activities, and typically at this point, she's after school every day. I pick her up after school. When I go to pick her after school, yesterday was a little bit different because I picked her up like directly after school. So I pick her up about, I don't know, 3:20 or so. She's like, Dad, get there before all of the attractors. Well, I'm there super early, right? And I did see a bit more traffic. You saw kids that were standing for the buses and things like that. You had a dude that was he was a very enthusiastic crossing guard. Like he was making the faces and everything. And like if Jerome from the Martin show, I said Jerome's in the house was a crossing guard kind of thing. And that might even be an episode where he was like over the top with it. That's what dude was doing over at Warner Hills High School. It was hilarious, but it is what it is. There was no accident, so I guess that's all that matters. And she was kind of complaining about it, but I'm telling her, I'm like, it is what it is. You got to get your kids make them resilient. I'm like, yo, you're going to be okay. If you got to stand out here with these kids, you'll be fine. So I saw it. I don't know how much of an inconvenience it is. I read that Metro and maybe perhaps CPS are saying that to this point, everything is running smoothly and better than what they thought. Cincinnatians, like most people, are very resistant to change. Sorta board, they didn't do us any favors by the rollout. They did a piss poor job with the rollout of it. Things are really, really hush hush. I don't hear too many people talking about it at all. So pretty much is we got what we got. It is what it is. And then we're going to have to move on and just deal with it. That's what it kind of feels like at this point. But again, I'm still open for the conversation. Like, do you have family members? You have children, people in your family that are taking the bus? What's been their experience? Has the experience been, is sort of correct? Has the experience been correct? Like, has it been a good experience where there hasn't been a whole lot of delays and nobody's baby got snatched? There's been no real altercations between the students and the adults on the bus. Tell me what you're thinking and what you're finding out there. I'd love to hear it. Speaking of the buses, we didn't talk about this, but Cam Hardy put it out there that he's got some stuff going on in his personal life, his family life, and he is not going to continue running for city council, which I think is so interesting because this is just my humble opinion, but I thought that Cam had a really good shot. I thought that Cam was in a very interesting position because of his work with the Better Bus Coalition. A lot of people in Hamilton County knew who he was. So he had put in the legwork that a lot of these candidates are trying to do right now, right? In fact, I would say that Cam Hardy is probably more well-known than the majority of the candidates, the vast majority of them, if not all of them, except for the incumbents, right? Like the only two persons who I thought had more visibility than Cam Hardy that were running for city council, and maybe if I'm wrong, were the two people who are running for, or the people who are on city council right now. Okay, right. Just got confirmation. So we'll talk with the Parkers at 9 a.m. coming up in about 25 minutes. Looking forward to that. Yes, great. They're going to call into the studio. So it won't be a Zoom call. They're going to call in old school style. So check for that coming up at 9 a.m. and we'll hear their story. But how many people, Stefan said they did me wrong? They did you wrong, bro. Oh boy. Not another story about signatures, is it? Hopefully not. They did you wrong, huh? Well, Stefan, bro, the number is 513-873-7134. Feel free to call in and tell us how they did you wrong, bro. They did me wrong. Oh my God, this is hilarious. But again, who had more name recognition in the current city council race than Cam Hardy? I mean, other than the incumbents, whether they were placed there, appointed, or in at least one council person's example, he had actually ran already and won. He said, "Yep." What you mean, yep, man? What you mean, yep, Stefan? Man, please don't tell me this is another signature controversy. He said they did me wrong. Man, look, you either get the signatures or you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that, bro. That's hilarious. I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about it, man, but the door is open. The door is open. TNT writes, and Charlie Winburn. That's right. Charlie Winburn is running for city council. He's a late addition, but he is running for city council. That is very interesting. So Charlie Winburn, Jan Michelle, Greg Landsman. Right. I agree with you, TNT. Those are the only three people that had, in my opinion, more name recognition. And the thing about Cam, in my humble opinion, is he was known countywide, not just in the Black community, but also in the business community, right? In the labor community, in the white community, right? For people paying attention, most people know who he is. I thought he had an excellent shot provided that he didn't shoot himself in the foot like we've seen with some other folks recently. He had a good shot, in my opinion, to get on city council, even though he didn't have the Democrat endorsement. He had the charter right endorsement. So that's equally, what it is. Number one, the charter rights are trying to put together a slate that they think and what they want us to believe is on par with the Democrats. Cam Hardy played a big role in that. He's out now. So what does that mean for the charter rights slate? Oh, okay, we got a call from Stefan's calling in. Good morning, brother. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, good brother? My man Nate the Great.
What's up, man?
Yeah, they did me wrong, man. I had 880 signatures, man. I was at Half Park Kroger's, man. Had the Caucasians in line signing my petition with the bullhorn, man. And I don't believe that all those signatures was wrong, man. I don't believe that was, man.
So how many signatures did you say you were wrong?
420. Then we said they said I had 379 correct. Damn. I say, man, please, that don't even sound right.
Damn.
But it's all good, huh?
So can't you check your signatures yourself before you turn them all in?
I would check them. I would check them I checked like 200 and something. Say, you know what? I'm going ahead and turn them in. I should have kept going. Yeah, and they, they did what they did. But guess what, brother? I celebrate my successes and failure, brother, because both require great encouragement, brother. It's all good. You remember the brother that was on your show a while back named Reggie Harris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he came on your podcast show and he said he owned his own development company, him and his husband. That's a conflict of interest right there. Look how the Democrat Party support him. And it's all messed up. On your show, he said it. Yeah, to see the games they keep playing, putting the same guys aboard these council seats, and them be the ones that play the community. We got to keep all these. I'm glad I didn't get on the board this time because I know too much, brother. I pay attention, man. I don't play the games with this stuff. This is serious. These candidates are helping this segregation in our community, man. They ain't doing enough for the black community. Like you said, David, man, a while back with your podcast. David, man, I don't care about black people. You said that on your show. So these the games they keep playing with the black communities, man. These communities shouldn't be like this, man. Segregation people out of they can push them out of their community, man. Where the NAACP this segregation when stuff was going on? Where they at now? This stuff gotta stop. When is it gonna stop? You know what I mean? You even got Greg Landsman. He broke the Sunshine Law issue. I'm gonna keep talking about it. He broke the Sunshine Law issue. How they supported that? The Democrat Party. You supporting corruption? Huh? This is wrong, man. This stuff gotta stop, man. I'm gonna keep it 100, man. They keep doing it over and over. What they say, what has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. Some gotta change. Some gotta be new, man. We keep getting left out as a black community. I saw David Mann go to church Sunday. I was up at New Prospect Church. He came up there, sat down. He ain't reverential and let him speak none of that. But I thought he was about to put white wigs on everybody in the church. So this stuff gotta stop, brother. Some of your Facebook watchers that be watching, man, some of them wear diapers, man. Some of them wear Pampers, man. They always want to shit on the brothers, man. They wear Pampers. They always eating shit pies, breath stinking all the time. I always hate, but don't want to help the community, brother. And they know this stuff, man. But I'd like to thank you, brother, for allowing me on this morning, man, brother. I thank you for that, man. You took my call. You allowed me on your show. I thank that, brother. And thank you for that, brother. For staying strong, brother. For staying strong. Keep doing your show, brother. Keep doing it, man. But these candidates got to be accountable for, man. With these nonprofit organizations they got jumping on city council. Didn't Kevin Finn a long time ago He turned his back on the community. He stepped down early, but now he coming back. Look at Tarbell. Come on, man. He worked on a committee now he running. Hey, look, how can you put old skin with new? It'll burst, brother. It won't work. It's a cycle. Y'all gotta observe this y'allself, man. That's watching this, listen. Y'all gotta observe this y'allself and be the ones that be the light for the people. You can't drive darkness with darkness. You gotta have light. Drive the light. Have that light to drive the darkness out, y'all. We gotta wake up. We keep seeing this stuff happen over and over again. You got the ones on your Facebook page. I always want to criticize and hate. Our fight depends on our babies, man. Your fight that you consist of, you want to do for these communities, I don't care what community you from. It's going to affect you too. It's going to affect you too. I don't care what community you from. I don't care if you're on your high horse where you living at and feeling good and making money. It's going to affect you too. Yes, it will. So we really got to wake up, y'all. For real, the time is now. Quit smoking that weed. Put that weed up, man. Too many chemicals on it. 400 plus chemicals. Put that stuff up. We got to wake up, man. Cranny Covenant has been trying to be a governor, trying to legalize weed. Stop it. That's your platform. Legalizing some weed. But there's too many chemicals on it. It won't do you no good. This stuff got to stop. Quit smoking. I used to smoke weed a long time ago. I quit that stuff, man, because it slow your progress down. I don't knock nobody what they smoke, but you got to stop it, man. You smoking tobacco. You still smoking nicotine. We got to wake up, people, please. Stefan approved that message, brother. I approve that message, brother. I thank you, man, for your time, brother. Facebook watching, listening, man. I love y'all guys. Nothing y'all can do about it. Y'all can't? All right, brother. Have a good day, brother.
You too, man. Take it easy, man. Stefan is hilarious. Oh, man. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that if you are running for city council, we'll just say it that way, and you've got to get, 500 signatures? Doesn't seem like a lot, but what I've been told is that's a whole lot. Then the Board of Elections will allow you to check your signatures before you turn them in. My strong recommendation, if I was running, is I would check every one of my signatures, right? Maybe up until the last 100 or so. Man, I might check every one of them, man, because like I said, I got a little OCD thing. So I might check every last signature before I turn it in, because I like to know before I put myself in a situation. I want to know how many I have before I give them to you. He said, they got me, y'all. They got me. Yeah. But he admitted himself, he only checked like a couple hundred. He was like, nah, we got this. Nah, you don't have this until you get to that magic number of 500. That's hilarious, man. What else did he say? He said something else, man, that was hilarious to me. He said, what did the brother just say? He said so much shit, man. Stefan is a classic. He is a classic. Good morning to you. TNT Race, keep on pushing, brother Stefan. Oh, no, he was talking about Reggie Harris. He said Reggie Harris is a developer, but that's not inherently a conflict of interest. You know, with everything that's went on with developers and all this kind of stuff, with city council members and corruption, yeah, it could be, but it depends on how they do their business. Just because he's a developer, I don't think it should preclude him from being or exclude him from being a member of city council. It depends on how he does his business. It depends on how he conducts himself. So it is what it is. Yeah, I do remember Reggie Harris. That was early on. That was very early on. I'm a lot more, again, I've been sharpening my knives over the last few weeks, getting ready for council, mayor, and all these different forums. Some people saying we should do a forum from CDM's page as well, like a CDM forum. And of course, it ended up being like a black politics forum if we did it. But what do you think about the idea? If so, I can reach out and make it happen. I know somebody who can moderate. Cocoa Buttercream writes, he seemed more interested other official candidates' campaign rather than running his own. Queen Maxine writes, we don't make you dumb. Dumb is dumb. Oh, yeah, he said something about there's a lot of chemicals in marijuana. There's a lot of chemicals in street marijuana. But part of the superlative of having it legalized is that it becomes what's in it becomes more regulated, and then you don't have people on the street cutting it trying to make as much money as they can from one shipment, one pack, or whatever they call it, right? So it's a lot healthier for you. Now, anything you smoke is subject to give you cancer and or COPD. I don't care what it is. If you smoke cigars, but I don't swallow, you subject to get lip, tongue, mouth cancer. Anytime you taking in any kind of smoke, it irritates your lung, you can get COPD. Snoop Dogg and the sum total of hip hop that love to talk about marijuana, them dudes on all the smoke, they don't say shit about COPD. They never talk about the negative side effects of it. But if you're gonna do it legally. Do it legally, and do it in a state in which you can do it legally, and do it responsibly. Simple as that. I don't hate nobody. If smoking weed gets you through your day, as crazy as the world is, and you do what you got to do. Now, coming up in about 11 minutes, I'm scheduled to get a phone call from the members of this family. And that's Erica and Aaron Parker. And they got a very interesting story that's gone viral. They plan to list their home here in the greater Cincinnati area and kept getting lowballed with the appraisal. And they couldn't figure out, why are we getting lowballed? I mean, it's a seller's market right now, which it is. And what they found out and how they dealt with it in their story is very interesting. Could be a lesson for all of us. And at the very least, a very interesting story. So I invited them on to the show. They accepted, and looks like we're going to have a conversation in about 11 minutes. Also, to give you a heads up, you've only got me until 9:29 this morning. I got a very important phone call at 9:30 a.m. The gist of it is I'm in the process of reviewing a commercial lease. I could tell you this at this point. That'll be the new home base of operations for CDM, for this show, for any shows we do, and any other creative projects. But I'm doing my due diligence because it will be an investment on our part, and so I'm doing my due diligence. So as we go through this, I just want to make sure you got to make sure what you're getting into, and is it the right fit for you? So at this point, I like what I'm seeing, but I'm at the review process of the lease, and we'll see. I'll have more to tell you probably Monday. I'll have more to tell you concretely one way or the other. Are we going to make this move for this project or not? But I'll say it again. I'm 100% serious about what I do. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm willing to do whatever I can to promote what we're doing here and take things to the next level. But I want to give you a heads up. So that phone call at 9:30 is a part of that. Let me see. What's this? Oh, okay. I see Shannon. Shannon's in the house. What's up, Shannon? Shannon? Yeah. What's up, Shannon? Shannon? Letty writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you, Letty. Check e-signature as you receive them and make a copy of your petition before turning them in. David writes, new studio means no more Junior in the morning. Remember your vibranium, Junior. It depends. It depends. So like if I had like a live in studio guest, I'd probably be doing it from a different location. But shit, I mean, this is good enough. I mean, this is on par with anything anybody else is doing. And it checks off all my boxes. Plus, it's downstairs from my bedroom. So shit, it's hella convenient. I don't have to jump in the car. I don't spend no money to broadcast live at this level of quality. So I would never give it up. Let me see. Nate, ask the family if they have any judicial recourse they can take against the appraisers for discrimination. Okay, well, I'll try to remember that question. Anthony, hang around, and I'll try to make sure I get that in. Sister V got them hands. I remember what you said, Sister V, throwing hands with teachers. We had to remove anything black when we sold our parents' home because we heard about stories like this. Is that right? White folks don't have to do this, do they? They can leave their pictures up and nobody's going to think, anything less is not going to lessen the property value any whatsoever. But it'll be interesting to hear their story in their own words. Coming up in about 8 minutes. Terrence Granston for Cincinnati writes, City Council has gotten too cozy with developers. It's a no for me. Oh, it's a no for you, huh? Huh. Kush writes, it's just a little herb. I ain't got no problem with it. I don't hate nobody. You know what I'm saying? I did my own experimentations over the years. I'm in no position to judge anybody on nothing. I'm just saying that when you look at the health benefits and health impact, just be careful with that. Because Snoop Dogg will have you believing there's no impact to your health whatsoever. Everybody's body is different. But look up COPD and you ask yourself, do you want to spend the rest of your days on this planet with COPD? I know I don't. So you got to make that decision. But Shannon writes, haha, you don't swallow. I know you don't swallow, Shannon. I know that, Swiss. That's why I was saying that. I know. But as I understand it, Shannon, just because you don't swallow, people that smoke cigars they're at a higher risk for lip, tongue, and mouth cancer because you got all kind of nicotine in that smoke and it still gets inside of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. But I know people that smoke cigars every once in a while. It's sexy. I get it. It's fun. It's an adult thing to do. Do it. Have your fun with you. Have your fun. I'm all about it. Let me see. Shannon writes, no, they should remove items as well. You should remove anything personal. Okay. Anything personal. Well, I mean, you would know. So if you're saying that, I know you got the expertise on that, Shannon. So it'll be interesting. Stefan writes, hey, Nate, I grow man Pampers. You grow man Pampers? I don't know what that means. You grow man Pampers, okay? Let me see. Coco writes, I rarely see superfine women and men who regularly partake of inhalants. Just a keen observation. I don't know. Never really thought about it like that. I don't know. She writes, I'm just being immature this morning. Ain't nothing wrong with that, sis. You just go ahead and keep being immature. Jericho writes, inhale, not swallow, LOL. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jericho, because I know you always here, sis, to correct me and check me. Thank you so damn much. You just make sure you take care of that king that's in your life. That's what you make sure. You take care of that black king. And here checking me. The hell? Drop writes, good morning, choppers. Democrats have all the good white folks, a.k.a. guilty white privilege. What the fuck is you talking about, man? What is you talking about?
It only takes a little bit of white brainwash to activate the coon chip.
Somebody's chip might be activated this morning. Somebody's chip might be activated. I ain't saying no words. I ain't saying no names. It only takes a little bit. Yeah, I got Dr. Umar all in this system.
You're not natural, baby. I see you got that perm in there. I still love you. You're gorgeous, but you're not nappy. You got to be nappy, baby.
Got to be nappy.
Got to be nappy.
You got to be nappy. You're looking beautiful, sis, but you ain't rocking that natural.
You're not natural, baby. I see you got that perm in there. I still love you. You're gorgeous, but you're not nappy. You got to be nappy, baby. You got to be nappy.
You got to be nappy, baby. You got to be nappy. You got to be nappy, sis. Oh, my sis. Oh, man. Didi writes, I turn on the show, and on the first thing I hear is, I don't swallow. Let's go straight to the phones. I don't know. Let's go straight to the phones and say good morning and welcome to the show.
Toot, toot, all aboard. The cool train is going full speed ahead. I see you, Mr. Ivey. You think you slick. What up?
Good morning to you, brother.
What up? What up, man? See, I let you slide last week when you added that little sound effect last week. I let it slide.
I'm glad.
I ain't want to call it because I knew you had it just for me. See, this is your little slick way to try to trigger your number one fan, your West Side Connection, Drop Squad 52, also known as the Black Not Democrat. But that's okay, Mr. Ivey.
you must have been in collaboration with Glenn from Mason yesterday.
Why?
You know what happened, Mr. Ivey?
No, I don't.
Glenn from Mason, he blocked me again, Mr. Ivey. Word. Now, Mr. Ivey, you know about the Drop Squad 52 Twitter experience. You know. And you know, Mr. Ivey, I never get personal. I never attack anybody physical. I never do none of that. I just come straight with memes. I come straight with videos. I come straight with your own voice. You know how I roll, right, Mr. Ivey?
I know how you roll.
So I'm asking you, as a close friend of Glenn, why do you think he feels the need to block somebody that he claims ain't on his level, that he claims don't have no followers, don't have no listeners, whatever he call it? Why would he block me, Mr. Ivey? Is it because he don't want this smoke? He can't handle this smoke? What is it?
Here's what he's saying. He says, dude is a stalker. I had to block that fool. That's what he's writing. But let me say this to you,
now,
man.
Mr. Ivey.
I got a guest that I invited to the show. They're scheduled to call in 1
I'm
minute.
sorry.
Can we pick this back up
Okay, my
later?
bad. My bad. No problem. All right, peace out.
All right, take it easy. Damn, Glenn, what'd he do, man, to make you block him? He said, all I hear is Tiana Taylor. You're wrong for that, man. Dude is a stalker. You out here blocking whole people out here, Glenn? I mean, that's your right, man. Do what you got to do. But damn, yo. The curtains are hot, Nate. Let me go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, this is Erica Parker and Aaron.
Hey, Erica, Aaron. Good morning. It's Nathan. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, thanks for making some time with us for us this morning.
Of course.
So I heard about your story, obviously, in the news, and I thought it was so interesting that it was the kind of thing that I wanted to make sure my audience knew all about. So as we get started here, just kind of tell us about yourselves. Do you guys live in the Cincinnati area? Are you from Cincinnati? What's your backstory?
Yeah, so originally my wife Erica is from Cleveland area, and I'm from Toledo. We came to Cincinnati for college. We both went to Xavier University, so that's where we met, and then just made a life here in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long you been here?
Gosh, so we've been here since 2003 at this point. So I guess 18 years at this point.
Oh, yeah, wow.
18 years. Okay, so that's Cincinnati. So you basically.
It's correct.
Yeah, that's interesting because my wife's from Cleveland too, so a very interesting dynamic. And we Cincinnati folks. I'm born and raised here. But so let's just jump straight into it. So you guys are homeowners, which we all know that, home ownership is a very important chip in terms of building your own personal wealth and for your family and things like that. Do you care to say what neighborhood, or you want to keep that to yourself?
Well, I can tell you the area. We won't tell you the exact neighborhood just to for our neighbors and our buyers. But we lived in the Loveland area near Fields Erdel.
Okay, Loveland area near Fields Erdel. Okay. And so tell us the story. So you're in the process. Have you sold your home yet?
Yes. So we have sold our home. Thankfully, we were able to sell our home and it closed on time. And that happened about in June of the summer. So you want me to tell you about the beginning of the process and how it started?
Yes, please.
So we, of course, decided on a whim to put our house on the market. We had been hearing about how houses have been selling really quickly. We talked to our realtor and she said, yes, your house is going to definitely sell. It's in a really great location, great school district. It's updated. Let's get it on the market. With COVID going on and us having 2 young kids, we were hesitant to have a lot of people walking in our house. And, you've seen the stories and heard about how listings get multiple offers and things like that. But I decided to just on a whim post it on our neighborhood Facebook page and let people know that our house was coming soon. We were thinking about putting it on the market. If you have anyone that's interested, let us know. Within literally less than 5 minutes, I had got 50 Facebook messages from people wanting to see our home. One of our neighbors called me and said, hey, I have a friend that's interested in looking at your house. She'd love to come out today and see it. Originally, I was like, well, we haven't taken the pictures. It hasn't been put on MLS yet. It's honestly, Nathan, it wasn't clean. It looked like a house had been lived in by 4 people and a dog. So it was, not in its best shape. But then the lady wanted to come see it, and so we allowed her to see the house. And within 2 days, we got an offer.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
So when did the
So
problem
it started.
start?
Go ahead. So the problem, I would say, started when the appraiser came to the house for the appraisal. I was at home. I was working remotely for the company that I work for, and I just happened to be in my office just working. I didn't know if he was going to come in because our realtor said with COVID going on, most people are just doing drive-bys and using the county information, so really might not even come in. So when he did come in, I was kind of caught off guard, but it's okay. I've sold a house before. I know what to expect when an appraiser comes in. You just get out of their way, let them take pictures and answer questions as they're asked. But it's hard to explain. Like, how you get this vibe. And he was asking me questions that I just could not understand the point of the questions that he was asking, or like what they had to do with the value of the house. But of course, he's the appraiser. I'm going to answer his questions. I'm going to give him all the information he needs so he can be on his merry way. Right. And so I had reached out to my realtor and said, hey, he came in, asked me some strange questions, but, I answered the questions. And she said, well, no worries. We'll see what it comes back at. So we waited for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. And then the appraiser came back. Our agent texted us and said, hey, are you sitting down, or are you able to take a call? And then that's when she told us about the appraised value and how it came in.
What were some of the questions that you thought were a little bit, that kind of caught you off guard that he was asking the appraiser?
Well, the one that stands out to me the most is he had asked me about, why. So first he asked why we didn't list it on MLS, right? Like, he asked me, why didn't you list it on MLS? That's strange that you didn't list it on MLS. And I thought to myself, well, what does that got to do with the appraisal of my house? But okay, I'll answer the question. Then he asked, well, do you know the buyers? Do you personally know them? Are they your friends? And I said, no, I don't know them. It was just, he wasn't asking questions about the house. He was more or less asking questions about how the house sold, why we sold it, and how we selected our buyers. And in my mind, that just didn't seem like that's something he should be asking about. But again, Nathan, he's the appraiser. He's in my house, and I need the appraisal value to work in my favor. So let me answer this man's questions and get him on his merry way is the approach I took.
Right. I understand. So then what happened next?
So then we got the appraisal back from our realtor, Amy, and we saw the appraised value. And let's just say a lot of mixed emotions went through my head, Aaron's head. We instantly printed it out and literally went line by line. And very quickly, we saw that there were several errors on the appraisal report itself. And, we both are human resources professionals. So we're always taught and always tell people assume innocence, assume good faith, assume that there was a mistake, right? Don't assume that someone's out to get you. Give someone the benefit of the doubt. So we reached out to our realtor and she said, yep, saw that. I've already reached out. Let's see what the bank comes back with. So we thought, okay. I mean, let me tell you, these errors, Nathan, are errors that you can verify by going to the county website, right? Like, go ahead.
Yeah, so we actually, we gave the benefit of the doubt, thinking that, okay, this is a, hot housing market. Appraisers are, appraising houses left and right. Maybe, just maybe, this is a mistake. He mixed up his houses. Now, deep down, I knew that something else is going on here. So, at that point, our realtor is working with the buyer's realtor, working with the lender, and highlighting all of the the errors, because one of the major errors is double the age of our home. That's written on the appraisal report, which and then also stated that there was updates made to the house. So those are things that you can go to the county auditor website and see when our house was built, the major updates we made in terms of like finishing our basement and stuff like that. We got a permit and all those things. So these are things that anyone can go search today and see online, and those are just very clear errors that were on the report. So at that point, our realtor, she's working with their realtor, working with the bank, et cetera, and they're going round and round. eventually they went back to the appraiser, and he refused to, he acknowledged the errors, but refused to change the evaluation of the home. So at that point, we then, at that point, we went back to our realtor, had conversations to figure out what could be our next step.
Okay. So what happened after that?
So after that, we went back to our realtor and we asked, what can the bank do in this situation, right? Like we feel that there's something wrong. We've given the appraiser the benefit of the doubt, given him the opportunity to change it, and he's refusing. What is the bank going to do in the situation? After it felt like weeks, it probably was a few days, but at this time felt like it was a really long time. Our realtor and the buyer's realtor were able to go back to the bank, and the bank did I'm gonna call it a desk audit. They went to their credit risk department and we asked them if they would do a second appraisal. They refused to send someone off to do another appraiser. But what they did is they had another appraiser who's on the appraisal team look at the appraisal and to review it to see if there were any errors. And that person came back and said, nope, the appraisal is fine. They stand behind that appraisal as well. So at that point, Aaron and I, just lost for words and can't believe that they wouldn't even change the errors, Nathan. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, it's simple. Apologize. Oops, I made a mistake on the age of your house and on some of your updates. Let me just change that, right? Nope, they refused. So then Aaron and I said, what can we do in this situation? Like, are we just stuck? Do we have to lower our house? Do we have to take that much money off of the wealth that we thought we built in our house? And so I did some Google searching, called probably 5 or 6 different appraisers before I got one that had open availability in a reasonable time. And then we booked a second appraisal.
Okay. Now, the second appraiser comes in. So the first appraiser, was that a white male?
Yes, he was a white male.
Okay.
Correct.
And then the second appraiser, is that a white male as well, or you decided to diversify it?
So I wasn't there. My realtor was there, and she confirmed that he appeared to be a white male as well.
Okay, so another white male. Okay. And so what was the conclusion of the second appraisal? Did they appraise the house at the same value?
No, they actually appraised it. So let me tell you what we changed a little bit. So before the second appraisal came in, since we felt that our civil rights had been violated, we wanted to, we did an experiment, right? We wanted to see what our house appraised higher if we removed all the things that identified our race. And so what I did is I went around the house and I took down all of our family pictures. I took down anything that looked like any type of African art, anything that would look like there are Black people that live in this house. And some of those things that I took down were my kids' artwork. So I have 2 kids, and they both love to draw. And I'll never forget this. My daughter had drawn this 6-figure picture, and I had it displayed in our dining room area. And I had to take that down. And my daughter loved that picture. And so she watched me go around the house, and I was trying to be trying to be undercover about it, but she caught me. So I went around the house and took down all of our family pictures, all of the Black art, all of the 6-figure art. My girls have these Black women superheroes in the room. I took all those down. And then we asked one of our neighbors if we could have some of their pictures so we could have a white family. So it looked like a white family lived there. And then we asked our realtor to be there on our behalf so we could try to have the house appear as if a white family lived there and not a Black family.
Wow. And so what made you do that? What made you do that?
You know what? I really don't have a good answer. Pure anger, and just knowing that I felt like we were treated differently because of our race. And I wanted to see if I removed our race from the process, would that have an impact? I mean, Aaron, what are you thinking?
Yeah. And Nathan, just to go back, we're not naive to know that, most Black folks know to take down pictures and things like that when you're selling your home. Our home sold, relatively quickly. And, when it came to the appraiser, it was just, at that point, we're just thinking nothing of it. We were busy, et cetera. That's why Erica was, she was working from home. So we didn't take down our pictures. So we knew what truly takes place in the history, within housing, when Black people are trying to sell their homes, that we know we need to take down our pictures. So we thought this time, let's go a step further. Let's not only take down our pictures for the second appraiser, let's put up a white family and see what that would do. And ultimately, the appraiser second appraisal came back at $92,000 more.
Wow, that's a big difference. So, are you convinced
Mm.
Yeah.
that your race, the race of your family, was impacting the original appraiser, the first appraiser's assessment of your house?
Absolutely. And it's more so around the things on the appraisal from on the first appraisal, the errors that are there that are just blatantly wrong. The refusal from that appraiser to change the evaluation. You can't tell anyone that, a house that you say is 15 years old, that's actually only 7 years old, that there wouldn't be a different, valuation. Those are like just facts there. And then when you look at the comps in the neighborhood, and we knew other homes, what they were selling for that were similar in size or even less in size. All the things line up to show that it really is our race that made the difference
Right.
in the appraisal.
So, what does the industry say? Like, when an appraiser shows up, should the owners be there? Should the realtor be there? Like, what did you learn through this process? I'm not sure what's the proper way of doing these things. Is it routine for the owner to walk through the house with the appraiser? Does the appraiser meet the listing agent and they walk through without the owners? What normally happens in a situation like that?
I mean, Nathan, I think there's two ways to answer that question. Like, what happens when you're Black versus what happens when you're not Black, right? So, being in Black America, most of us know that, you shouldn't be there, take everything down, hide it. Like, those are just common things that if you talk to your friends about, that's what they talk about, right? Or as some people will say, depersonalize your house before you put it on the market. But, the difference in this fact is that our house was on the market and sold with those things in it. So we didn't think we needed to take them down. And so I even tell my husband, I blame myself because I knew better. My parents have been telling me for years, my grandparents, everyone has told me, why, Erica, you know better, right? But I would say, what we've learned from this experience is clearly depersonalize your house. If you're Black, take down anything that shows you're Black, right? My husband's in a fraternity. And so we took down all of that stuff as well. We took down anything that would make you think that there were Black people that lived in that house and replaced it with white items. Not saying that you have to go that far, but I would say, lessons learned for us is that when we sell our house, we are not going to be there for the appraisal. We are going to allow our realtor to do that process for us, and that we will take anything down that shows our color or our ethnicity in the house. Anything, Aaron, you?
Yeah. And one thing, our realtor is a white female, and this experience for her, she's processing when she has future Black and brown clients, does she have to give them different advice than her white clients? Mm-hmm. So it ended up being it's a learning experience for her and education for her that she can't believe that she might have to give different advice on how to sell your home based on the race of her clients. So that that is eye opening as well.
It's interesting because as a Black person, you selling your home, you trying to get the best price, right? You want to get as much money as you can. At the same time, you don't want to feel like you selling out your culture or you're doing something that would compromise your integrity. But at the end of the day, it's all about the Benjamins, right? So what would you suggest to, Black homeowners that may be going through the process of selling their home? Like, what would be your best advice to them per your experience?
I've thought about what would I say? And, I have this joke with my friends about code switching and that, switching and being able to blend and to mesh. And when it comes to real estate and selling your house, you got to do what you got to do. Right. I would say do what you have to do to get your house sold. Because that generational wealth, we could have lost out on that the money that we could have lost out on or lost out on the sale of our home or the ability for us to build our dream home, that has everlasting impacts on not just my husband and I, but on my 2 daughters, right? And then on my daughter's daughters. The number one way to transfer wealth is through real estate. And being robbed of that ability is something that would put us behind. We're working hard, we're hustling to try to make sure that we're making a living for our families, and to have that one situation be able to set us back is just unbelievable. So I'm telling people, yes, have your pride. Yes, stand your ground, but do what you got to do to get your house sold. So if you
Right.
got to stage it, if you got to call your best friend that's a white woman or a white man and get their pictures up, put it up. If you got to take down your fraternity sorority stuff, until things change on a federal level and on a state level, until there's a different way for housing value to be evaluated that takes out one single person's thoughts or ideas on the value of your home and them having the ability to veto or change anything, you've got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So you got to think about it. We basically have no protection in this process. The appraiser will do appraisal with errors, and then the mortgage lender just accepts that, and basically because it's a third party doing the appraisal, they just take their information and their word for it. So there's no protection for Black and brown folks going through the process of selling your home. So when Erica says you have to do what you have to do, honestly, that's unfortunately that's the best advice that we can give in order to get the money that you deserve.
But just think about how diabolical that is and how it undercuts Black wealth. Because let's say you guys had went with that first appraisal, you undercut or devalue or accept a low offer by like almost $100,000. Let's say hypothetically a white family comes in there 3, 4, 5 years from now, they sell it, they get the full appraisal, they stealing your wealth.
Exactly.
They just basically was given $100,000 that should have been yours. And when we talk about the differences between Black households and wealth and white households and wealth, that's part of the story right there. Because America tells us go to college, get a job, do the right thing, raise a family, invest in your community. And when you do that, you got folks out there that might try to undercut you. So do you honestly believe, what's your take on the appraiser? Do you think the appraiser is racist? Do you feel like the man was biased? Do you think that it was done intentionally? Like, you know what? Screw this Black family. Or do you think that was his bias thinking that because a Black family lived there is not as valuable? What's your take on the appraiser himself?
I mean, I don't know him, right? But I mean, if I had to make an educated hypothetical guess, I would say it's his unconscious bias, right? I mean, the questions that he were asking me had nothing to do with the value or the sale of the home, or the value of the home. It had nothing to do with like, when we sold our first house, they were like, okay, can you show me this? What did you update? Like they may ask you questions like that, but he didn't ask me any of those questions. Like he mainly was focused in on the fact of like, I felt like he was trying to figure out how did it sell so fast? Why did it sell so fast? Did it really sell so fast? Did you know? Like I felt like he was trying to figure out did something strange happen there? And something that I was telling Aaron is like the part where I feel like our white neighbors need to help us. I'm not saying our neighbors didn't, because our neighbors are phenomenal. Let me just put that out there. They're the greatest neighbors ever. But I think white neighbors need to also care about this. It's not just a Black problem, it's their problem because it hurts their property values, right? So if we allowed our house to go sell for $92,000 less, then that's going to impact our neighbor's house because that's going to be a comparable for them. So it's not just the Erica and Aaron problem. It's not just a Black family problem. It's their problem too, because I want my property value to be great when someone sells their house. So if someone sells their house undervalued, that's going to hurt their value. So I think that's something that white people who are looking at this thinking, it's not your race. Well, if you don't care about it being my race, care about your property value, because I know you care about your property value. So that's something that I think people need to also think about is if this is happening to your Black neighbors that live in your neighborhood, that's hurting your equity. That's hurting your resale. So and you have a stake in making sure that we are treated properly.
Mm-hmm. Excellent point. Well, Aaron, Erica, thank you so much for your time this morning. I wish you the best. It sounds like things have worked out and got a lesson learned, and hopefully somebody in the audience can get something out of it as well. So I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, most def. That's Aaron, and Erica, and very interesting. Very, very interesting. What do you think about what they had to say in their situation? Have you been in a similar situation? We talk about Black wealth building. Undercut you by $100,000. That's like a whole college tuition. Depending on where you go, it could be a couple of years, could be 4 years. That's a whole big deal right there. What could you do with $100,000? I could do a lot with $100K. Janice writes, a very intelligent couple. Yes, I can hear that. Very intelligent couple. TNT writes, I received a low appraisal for my home, and when I know I spent $30K on renovation, but I have no plans to sell, so I'll keep it for lower taxes. But if I ever do sell, I now know what to do. And see, Shannon, this is her business. So I know what she has to say carries a lot of weight and experience. And so I was paying attention to her comments. She wrote a bunch of things, including no realtors should know how to make it irrefutable what happened. This could have been done differently. Okay. Okay. How so, Shannon? See, I'm curious, Shannon, what is your take? After hearing that story, what is your take about it? Like, how do you reel it? How do you view it from your experience viewpoint? I'm very curious about that. Let me write systematic. Play chess, people. The bank is also an issue. You've got me for another, you got me for 6 more minutes at 513-873-7134 this morning. We got John from Princeton, New Jersey on the line. Hey, good morning, John. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivey and the good people of Cincinnati, and well as the good people around the world, and yes, those choppers. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Welcome.
That was a very interesting interview you did with, I believe that's a couple. Are
Yeah.
they couples or are
Yeah,
they?
Erica and
Uh,
Aaron.
yeah, that was. It was a very. I was glad I was able to drive and pull over and listen. That was an excellent interview, and I wish you could have had some space to allow the choppers as well as people to call in and ask them questions. Maybe you can set that up for future interviews. But that was a very good interview. And as I was listening, it kind of, you brought up so many things and they talked about, it sounds like that's a making of a book for them or a way for them to chime in footnotes to Facebook and some of the social stations to make people aware of what goes on in the real estate world. And let's not forget the bankers are cahoots with a lot of this mess too. This, as she was talking, it's nothing new. I've heard these stories before, but they broke it down in different ways. And she was right on point with a lot of things that go on in the real estate industry. And people, yes, she's right. People should be aware of the tactics and tricks. And as I indicated, the banks are in cahoots with this mess too. The federal government has, federal and state and city has policies in place to protect people like them and make sure these realtors and banks are following the policies, but they don't. They still play these games. They put code words in some of their policies so they don't get caught on the federal crimes. But it slips around and they play the games anyway. So, I'm glad you had that interview so people can be aware. I mean, what do you have to, you're trying to sell your house, you got to take your African American family picture down, any statues that look Afrocentric, things that would turn off a white person that want to buy the house just because you're black. That's insane. You know,
Hey,
you know,
hey, John, listen, I do not mean to cut you off, man, but I've got to leave the show early. And there's a couple
yeah,
people trying to call in. So let me end it right
okay,
here so I can open up the phone line, brother. I appreciate you.
all right,
Yeah,
right.
most deaf. Yeah, because I'm trying to get Shannon on because I know that she is a realtor. This is her business. So I'm super interested in hearing what she might have to say about this. Let me see if I can get her on the line here. I think it could be very interesting to get that kind of insight before we roll out of here. But I appreciate John. Hey, hello, is this Shannon? Hey, Shannon, good morning. I'm doing well. Hold on, I'm not sure if people can hear you here. Hold on one second. There it is. We got you now, Shannon. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, I can
There
hear
it
you.
is. There it is. We got you. So you heard that interview.
I did.
So and just so people know, you're a realtor, correct?
I am a realtor.
Okay. So as a black realtor, what did you take from that?
So, what I took from that before I say anything, let me say the disclaimer. Yes, racism in real estate exists. Yes, it happens. Yes, I have experienced discriminatory appraisals. In this case, I saw a lot of things that could have been done very differently. And it's hard to say whether or not they were racist because the first thing is that appraisers have access to a ton of information. He would have known they were black before they got there. It's very easy to find people and look up this information. So even when he got to the house, even if he hadn't looked it up and he saw her, if he's a racist, okay, he's already biased. She should not have been at the house. because not only because so he can't see her, but because exactly what happened. It opened her up to answer questions. So what really should have been done by their realtor is to provide any information that the appraiser would have needed to make a fair and unbiased value about the house. So anything that they had that was like any updates or even why they decided to list as a FSBO. Somebody said, well, that's not fair. That's a very valid question because, and she actually said it, it speaks to if they're trying to hide something or if there's some other defect or if there's some reason that they wouldn't have wanted to have to deal with rules of the MLS. So there are questions that people don't understand the why of why they're asked, but they are valid because this person is using numbers and a lot of other things to make a determination of value. Even the market itself can determine value. Anytime I list a house and it goes under contract, one of the things I provide is a packet to the appraiser because I'm not going to be there to talk to him because, again, that can sway how the appraisal goes. I don't want to have to get into a conversation with this person, and it could go higher or lower, but talking to him gives him an impression of the type of homeowner it is, how they maintain their house, what they did. And yes, all of this is subjective to his opinion, but his opinion is the one that matters as the person who's providing this report. So in that packet saying, one of the things I say, if it went under contract quickly, that is valid. You want your appraiser to know, we went under contract day one with 5 offers that were above ask and, 3 of them were cash. You want them to know that because your home is only as valuable as what someone will pay for it. The other thing is that appraisers can see other appraisers' info. So if it's an FHA appraisal, which I don't know if it was or not, may or may not have been, could have been, even though it's in Loveland, that appraisal sticks with the property for 6 months. So it can be seen. Saying that having to remove everything from the house is the only reason, everybody has to do that. Everybody has to do that. It's not just a Black thing because ultimately, when people are coming through your house, you want them to see the house. So it's not even so much for the appraiser's benefit, it's for the benefit of the sale. Having mistakes in the appraisal, that's just, and again, I'm not saying that this guy wasn't racist. He very well could have been. But when you see mistakes in the appraisal, it's because the appraiser's a crackpot. That is very easily disputable. The only time that it's not so easy is when it's an FHA appraisal because they have certain variances that they allow. But overall, if he did things like have the room numbers wrong, square footage wrong, all of those things, that gets tossed. And that's a him issue. That's not a bank issue. That's not an appraisal management company. That's the other thing. Appraisers are ordered through a third-party appraisal management company. So even though that appraiser very well could be racist, that same company could send out someone else who is not racist and would not have had the same views. And that's why, to me, it's like it's not completely objective because there's no control. You have 2 different appraisers who did 2 different things. So saying that weighing what one person did against what another person did is not necessarily a fair assessment because it's like, oh, well, because we put white people in there and white pictures up, this other appraiser said this. You can't really say that because the difference would be if you saw what the first appraiser did, if he would have saw white people in white pictures. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get it. I understand. I appreciate the viewpoint. Shannon, I got to make a move. I got a phone call to make, but I appreciate you.
Thank you, Nate.
Yep, take it easy. That's Shannon checking in. She's a realtor. I thought that was an interesting way to end the conversation. And if you're just tuning in, I've been saying it all morning. I've got to make a move. I got a phone call, which I'm late for right now. So I'll make a quick departure. And thank you so much. So thanks to Erica and Aaron for stopping in today and sharing their thoughts with us. I really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow morning and hopefully better than ever. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, where nothing is funnier than the truth. Men are allowed to be men. And of course, sucker MCs get dealt with. And we'll catch up tomorrow morning, same time.